In this Teachable Agent game by Stanford University, students are introduced to concept mapping as well as concepts and implications of climate change, environmental considerations, and so forth. When students begin playing, they are first asked to practice their correlational analysis by considering and applying their understanding of sequences to a teachable agent, which is a robot named Fabry. And so they have to teach the robot, who has no idea what hunger is, what happens if you have lack of resources such as food, and how it will then impact your hunger, which impacts your emotions, which is grumpiness. And once they've done that, then they've demonstrated that they can show a correlation between three different factors, and they're allowed to create their own agent. I created one, which was me, and they give you their characteristics and personality, which is kind of cool. And then they're told that they're going to go into their own ship and be able to explore a new planet. And in order to do so, they need to make sure that their teachable agent is able to aid them in addressing climate change or whatever the mission may be for that particular planet. And so once they get to that planet, they then have to teach their teachable agent one of the first concepts, which is if global warming increases, then what happens to the habitat because of the temperature change, and then what happens to animal migration. And once they're able to make that correlation through going through sequences of information and a cause and effects that is provided for the learner, they then go and provide that information to their teachable agent. And once they have understood that, they make the changes. They decrease climate change, which decreases temperature and animal migration, and you've completed your mission, and everyone's super excited, and you get goals and checkup tools that kind of highlight what you've actually learned. And then they reiterate that through asking the student a series of questions, and if they get that right, and as you can see, the correlational aspect of the game increases each time that they go into a new mission. So they keep scaffolding and adding on to their learning. So all in all, it's I think a very useful game that uses teachable agents in a way that, for me at least, seemed more three-dimensional than one-dimensional compared to some of the others that I've seen. And I think it's actually geared towards, I would say, middle school, maybe high school students, in a pretty novel way that I think gets them invested in their learning and makes them feel that they have control of that learning, and they have, their own personality and their own agent. And so overall, I would probably give it around 4 to 5 stars. The only thing that I would say is it's a little glitchy. And so it at times can be difficult to navigate, or you kind of have to refresh and go back. So that can be kind of frustrating for a user. But overall, I think it's one of the best that I've seen so far out there when it comes to TA.